Hello everyone, I hope that you're doing good. So as you can see, today we are over here at my little herb drying station with a dehydrator. So I'm actually going to be popping these herbs in the dehydrator to finish drying them. So I've been air drying them for probably about a couple of weeks now, but it's just taking a little bit too long with how high the humidity has been. So that can actually give it a chance to mold if it's not drying out successfully after so long and the moisture content is still at a certain point. So what I'm going to do is just pop these in the dehydrator at a very low heat at about like 105 degrees for about an hour, and that should actually finish these guys out. So we're just going to kind of judge that and see when everything is crunchy, and then from that point, once they've cooled, then we're going to put them into sealed jars. Because if you go and store your herbs in like a paper bag or a jar with like a coffee filter or fabric over top of it, it can actually allow the humidity to seep back into the herbs a little bit. I actually had this experience with some flower petals. I put them into the jar and they were crunchy, and then I just kind of covered it with a coffee filter and left it. When I came back, they were pretty pliable, so I actually just popped those back into the dehydrator because there was no mold or anything on it. I think that I had just caught it when it first started happening. So I actually don't know how long it would take to mold or what the chances are of it actually happening or how likely it would be to happen, but there is a chance. So just keep an eye on it and just make sure that you're storing your herbs properly. I'm just going to pop these trays into the dehydrator. They're actually already on my dehydrator trays. So really quick, I am just going to set the heat to 105 degrees and set the timer for 1 hour, and then we are going to go make breakfast. So here I've got some echinacea leaves, cilantro, and then these next two are lemon balm. And they're mostly dry, but they're still just a little bit pliable. They should crumble whenever I do this. And if you're working with lighter herbs, it's probably going to be a good idea to put the herbs inside of the dehydrator and then turn it on, because sometimes the fan can kind of blow this stuff out, especially when it's more dry. Okay, and now we'll come back and check on this in like an hour. Alright, so we're going to just do a carrot mango smoothie and a granola bar for breakfast this morning. Oops. So we're just going to peel the carrot. I've also got like a bust on this one, which is okay. You can just cut like the bad parts out of your carrots if it's not too bad. The problem with this is that it can increase the chances of it rotting, and it can also be a good place for pests to hide. So you just want to be kind of cautious of that. And I'm going to be using like a little NutriBullet blender thing. I like to cut the carrots up into small pieces, otherwise it'll kind of get jammed up in there. If you're using like a regular big blender, you should be fine to just cut it up into bigger chunks. Okay, so I've probably got about a cup of carrot in here. Excuse my scratched up cup. It's been well used. And then now I'm just going to add probably about a cup of mango. You can use fresh or frozen. This is the last of the bag, so that's a little bit of a heavy on the cup there. So now I'm just going to add in about 8 ounces of water and a couple of squeezes of lemon juice. You can add honey in this as well to balance it out. Now that we've got this blended up, I'm just going to pour it into a mason jar because I don't like drinking out of these cups, and I also don't like leaving like smoothies in these cups because they can smell bad really fast. And I will say I really love this shake, or smoothie, excuse me. I find that it actually is really helpful for like helping me grow my nails out. It's not like anything crazy, but before, like, I was not able to like grow my nails past like the nail beds, and now they're kind of getting past my fingertips, and this has definitely been kind of helpful in that. It's just one of the things that I've been doing. It's really high in like B vitamins, which is super helpful for helping grow your hair and nails. And it actually kind of tastes like orange airhead. So, and then with this, I'm just going to do like a breakfast for. I don't know why that's blurry. Okay. Next, we're going to go plant sunflowers. So now it is time to plant sunflowers. I have a variety here. We'll just quickly go over them. So first up, I have mammoth sunflowers. I actually have a couple of packs. So I'll be planting these along like all of the poles in case they need to be staked up because they can be pretty heavy. And then I have lemon queen sunflower, big smile sunflower. These only get to be like a foot tall. I've never grown these, but I think they will be so cute. Velvet queen sunflower, so it's got a really pretty red color. And then this one is a mix. So this is a mixed color. So this one looks like it is a mix between like the lemon, and then you have some mixed colors, probably even some of the velvet in there. Now I just want to talk about some of the benefits of having sunflowers in your garden. So first of all, the seeds are edible from all of these varieties, and any variety that you're going to find at the store. The seeds that you save from those, you can eat. You can feed them to the birds. However, the bigger varieties, like the striped larger seeds, they are going to be better tasting and better for human consumption versus like a black oil. So another benefit to having sunflowers in your garden is that they make a great trap crop. So aphids like these, so instead of them going for your tomatoes, you can just plant the sunflowers next to it and they're likely going to go for that instead. Same with birds, they're going to rather have those sunflowers than your tomatoes in most cases. Now, on top of pest prevention for your crops that you want to eat from, what this will also do is actually it's very beneficial for the soil as well. So the roots will go deeper because they have tap roots, and so they're able to get the nutrients from the deeper soil rather than taking it from the top layer where a lot of your other plants are going to be rooted at. And on top of that, since they do have those tap roots, that will actually aerate the soil and help improve the health of it as well. So some other cool things, so for large varieties like a mammoth sunflower, you can actually cut the stalk of these and cure them and use them the next year to like stick up your tomatoes or anything like that. So it's really just going to be like a bamboo stake that you save from this. So we are going to begin with the mammoth sunflower seeds. So for pretty much all of the seeds, it's going to call for spacing of like 18 to 24 inches. So you don't have to have that on either side. That's like the total spacing. So you'll take that and divide it in half and like plant your seed in the middle. So what that would give us an average is like a seed every 10 inches to make it easier. So we're starting here in the corner, and I'm going to just do one here rather than like 2 or 3. So these are the nice striped type of seeds that you'll want to save if you want to keep these for eating. But these are mammoth sunflower seeds. And these are kind of old, so I'm just going to place 2 seeds. And then just lightly cover it. With any seed that you're burying, you basically only want to put it like the depth of the seed itself. So you wouldn't want to put the seed any further underground than that. So that's like 1/2 inch maybe. And I need to come through and cut off these zip ties. I have been thinking about leaving them just for a little bit of extra like pest deterrent. Like if a rabbit tries to squeeze under here, this might freak it out if it thinks it's a snake or something. But anyway, here I'm going to place one directly in front of the pole, and then on either side, about 10 inches over, I'm going to plant another. So again, in each of these, I'm going to do 2 seeds because these are a couple of years old. Just lightly cover, and then like 10 inches, 12 inches. And it's a great idea to do this as it's raining, like before or after. And then also, if it is not going to be raining, be sure that you water these in. And then once they sprout, be sure that you keep them watered. When your plants are in their seedling stage, that's when they're going to be their most fragile. 2 seeds there. Okay, and now we are going to move to the next. Another thing, so I have this clump of dirt here. You want to make sure you don't have stuff like this covering up your seeds because it will absolutely stop them from being able to come up out of the ground. So we are back down at the end again. We just finished the mammoth sunflowers for each pole. These only get about 1 foot tall, so I'm going to place these in the center of the garden or in places where I need something shorter. So that leaves us with these 3 types to fill in the middle spaces. So I don't want to overcrowd it because I'm also going to be planting stuff like tomatoes. So these are going to be going behind the tomatoes. So I want to have enough to where it's pretty and it's doing its job, but not overcrowded. So what I'm going to do is probably only place 2 of these between each section. So we've got seeds that are going to come up in the corner, and then seeds that are going to go around the pole. So we've got this area where we can have 1 or 2 of these sunflowers popping up. And these will get pretty large. Let's see here. So yes, these will get like 6 to 8 feet tall, and it actually says that you can put these 6 to 8 inches apart. So with any of your sunflowers or just flowers in general, the closer you put them together, the smaller the flowers will be, and the more space that you give them, the bigger the flower will be. So that's just kind of dependent on what choice you want to make with that. So I'm probably just going to randomly choose these. So what I'm going to do here, because this is a mix that's going to be like similar to like a mix of these 2, but it looks like I have some that are going to be kind of variegated in here as well. So I'm actually just going to take this whole packet and then dump some of each of these in here as well so that I can have a good mix and just kind of randomize it. So these tiny seeds, they're not going to be ideal for saving to eat for like human consumption. You definitely can eat them, but they're not as hardy as the other seeds. But these would be absolutely wonderful to save for birds. So I just took like about half of that packet and I'm going to dump it in with the other. And I'm going to do the same and grab the lemon cream. And you can see that's really nice and mixed up. I'm just sprinkling 2 seeds in each, 2 random seeds. And then we're going to go and do the same all the way down. Alright, we're back inside now. I got the sunflower seeds all planted and watered in and everything. Don't forget to water your seeds. So we are back in. The dehydrator has now went off, so it has of course been an hour or two. So now we're just gotta check and see if they're crunchy. Okay. Yep. That is perfect. We want to see them crumbling apart when they're ready. So let's grab some jars and store these. So the first 2 trays that I have here are going to be the lemon balm, and then I have a little bit of catnip here in the corner, so I'm going to store that in a smaller jar. You can, of course, kind of grind this up into smaller pieces, but I like to keep a lot of my herbs in like a whole leaf form. I find that they keep a lot better and they preserve like for much longer as well. Okay, and so I have quite a bit of lemon balm, so I'm going to go ahead and put this into a larger jar. This is honestly probably like half of what you could fit in this jar. Just like squish it down if you're a little short on space, and it'll give you a lot more room in there. So next we have cilantro. And I don't really care to have this whole leaf, so I'm just going to crumble this off of the stem. I find with stuff like this that has like branches, you can also stick this in a paper bag and shake it real good, like lavender, and like the flower buds will come off, or this type of thing, and all of the little crumblies will just be in the bottom of the bag, and you can take your stems out and toss them. I think this is part of an echinacea leaf. That's next. Got my cilantro crumbled up. And lastly, we have some echinacea leaves. I'm just going to leave these as whole as possible. Whenever I go to use these, most likely in a tea, I'll just crumble it out. And the stem is fine on there as well. Echinacea is one of those where the entire plant is usable. Okay, everyone, well, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope that this was helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a great day. Bye!